incredibly fast because there's no container to break down. They hit the liver like a massive, sudden flood.
And the complex carbs.
Fiber-rich, complex carbs, however, are absorbed slowly. The fiber in the food acts as a natural brake, providing a smooth, manageable delivery of glucose into the system. This journey, from mouth to liver, isn't just digestion.
It's setting the stage.
It's the critical first step that defines your entire metabolic state. It determines whether your system has to scramble to catch up or if it can regulate gracefully. The difference between a managed trickle and a sudden flood sets the tone for everything we're about to discuss concerning energy stability and longevity.
So all the freshly absorbed sugars, the glucose, fructose, and galactose, arrive via the portal vein at the liver. We called it the central processing unit earlier, but it really sounds like the ultimate air traffic control tower for all incoming fuel.
It is absolutely the metabolic control center. The liver is the critical, non-negotiable organ that decides the fate of every sugar molecule that passes through it.
And this decision is key.
This decision-making process, whether it handles the incoming load efficiently or struggles under constant pressure, is the fine line that separates metabolic health from the rapid path toward insulin resistance and metabolic disease.
So what are the liver's main operational choices when it's faced with this influx of absorbed glucose? It can't just let it all flood the system.
No, it is a master regulator. It has to maintain a very strict blood glucose level. It has 4 primary operational options, and it prioritizes them based on the body's immediate systemic needs and its existing reserves.
Okay, what's option 1?
The first and most straightforward is immediate energy release. If your body is currently active, if your cells, especially your brain and muscles, are calling out for fuel to maintain current activity, the liver releases that glucose directly into the systemic circulation.
So it's used right away.
It ensures cells have the instant fuel they need, keeping performance high and preventing hypoglycemia.
And option 2 is about saving it for later.
That's storage as liver glycogen. If the immediate energy needs are met, say you're sitting down, resting, the liver starts using enzymes to link that glucose up and stores it as liver glycogen.
Like a checking account.
It's a readily accessible checking account. The liver can store enough glycogen to maintain blood sugar stability for roughly 12 to 24 hours in a non-fasting individual.
And why is this specific liver store so important?
Because when blood sugar dips slightly between meals or overnight during sleep, the liver breaks this glycogen down quickly. It releases glucose back into the blood to maintain that crucial balance, ensuring the brain, which is incredibly sensitive to fuel changes, never goes hungry.
It's the body's buffer.
It is the body's essential buffer against fasting.
Now we get to the third option, the one that becomes the primary driver of so many chronic metabolic issues, especially in modern society where food is so abundant.
You're referring to the conversion to fat. This process is called de novo lipogenesis, the creation of new fat.
And when does this happen?
This happens when 2 conditions are met. 1, your immediate energy needs are already met, and 2, your liver and muscle glycogen stores are completely full, saturated.
Yeah.
The system is overflowing.
There's nowhere else to put it.
At this point, the liver says, I have nowhere else to put this fuel. I cannot let this excess glucose float around the bloodstream and cause cellular damage. So it converts that excess glucose into fatty acids.
And then what?
These fatty acids are packaged into triglycerides and exported to be stored as adipose tissue body fat, or, more dangerously, they get stored within the liver itself.
So the common wisdom that fat makes you fat is often incomplete. It's really the excess caloric energy, frequently from carbs that saturate the system, that ends up stored as fat, starting right there in the liver.
Exactly. When you chronically saturate the liver with more glucose than it can use or store efficiently, this fat conversion becomes the constant default.
And that's a big problem.
This is where we start seeing the buildup of fat, not just externally, but around the organs, leading inevitably to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. NAFLD is becoming one of the clearest indicators of failing metabolic health and accelerated aging worldwide. It literally means the metabolic control center is congested and stressed.
And the final critical overarching function, the one that governs all 3 choices we just discussed.
That is blood sugar balance and regulation. This is the liver's constant 247 mission. The brain requires a very narrow, tightly controlled range of glucose.
Not too high, not too low.
Right? Too high, and the excess sugar damages cellular structures through processes like glycation. Too low, and the brain starves. The liver is the ultimate stabilizer, releasing stored glycogen or taking up excess glucose to keep that level within that narrow, safe band.
So a healthy liver is key to a healthy metabolism.
The more efficiently your liver performs this regulation, the healthier your metabolism is for sustained longevity.
The liver has done its job, releasing glucose into the bloodstream where it's distributed and picked up by cells. Now we transition into the pathway that happens inside every single cell in the body, from head to toe, the true engine room, glycolysis.
Glycolysis is where the rubber meets the road. It's the first step of active energy generation.
Yeah.
It is arguably the most fundamental and ancient metabolic pathway in existence.
And it happens everywhere.
It occurs in the cytosol, the watery fluid of every single cell. It is the universal entry point for all carbohydrate-derived energy.
The name itself gives us a clue as to what's happening.
It does. The word itself is very descriptive. Glyco refers to glucose, and lysis means breaking apart. So it literally translates to breaking glucose apart to release energy.
And how does it work?
The process is a stunning 10-step series of enzyme-driven chemical reactions, a metabolic cascade that's been perfected over billions of years of evolution. To simplify this complex pathway, one molecule of glucose, which is a 6-carbon sugar, is chemically altered and split down the middle.
Into what?
Into 2 smaller 3-carbon molecules called pyruvate.
And the purpose of all this splitting and breaking, what's the yield? What do we get out of it?
The primary purpose is to generate essential energy compounds. This process produces a few crucial outputs, but only a small amount of immediate energy.
Okay, what's the first output?
The first output is a small net gain of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the universal immediate rechargeable energy currency.
ATP, the energy coin.
Think of ATP as the fully charged, ready-to-use coin the cell uses to pay for everything, making proteins, sending signals, moving things around.
And the second key output, the one that sets the stage for the next level of energy production.
That's NADH. These molecules are high-energy electron carriers. They are not the energy itself. They are like specialized armored courier trucks carrying highly valuable cargo high-energy electrons to be used later.
So they're potential energy.
They represent stored energy potential that the cell will cash in later for a massive return.
This process is happening right now in trillions of our cells as we speak. But here is the eye-opening insight, the part that speaks to fundamental survival biology and why glycolysis is so primal.
Absolutely. The defining characteristic of glycolysis, the reason it is so fundamental to survival, is that it does not require oxygen.
It's anaerobic.
It's an anaerobic process.
That feels counterintuitive to our modern understanding because we associate deep, sustainable energy production with breathing and oxygen.
We do. But glycolysis evolved before large amounts of oxygen were even prevalent in the atmosphere. It is the body's ancient, built-in survival system.
So it's an emergency generator.
It means that your cells can still generate that small amount of emergency ATP, even during conditions of intense cellular stress, where oxygen delivery is insufficient, like sprinting for your life, pushing a max weight lift, or during emergency situations where blood flow might be compromised.
So it's quick and dirty, but reliable.
It's the quick, dirty, but absolutely reliable way to get energy when the system is starved for air.
That truly highlights the body's resilience. If this insight that your body can literally make energy without breathing is making you rethink your own body's resilience and metabolic power, give this deep dive a like. This knowledge really defines metabolic robustness. So we've produced pyruvate from the glucose molecule via glycolysis. That pyruvate is now standing at a metabolic crossroads, has a binary choice to make. And the decision on which path to take depends entirely on one factor, the availability of oxygen.
This is where we separate the sustained health pathway, the longevity pathway, from the necessary but costly emergency pathway. The body is always optimizing for the greatest return, and its primary choice is always maximum efficiency, provided the resources are there.
Let's start with the ideal high-efficiency route. This happens when oxygen is plentiful, which is to say, during rest, walking, or any steady-state sustainable activity. This is the goal for daily longevity.
Right. If oxygen is readily present, the 2 pyruvate molecules produced by glycolysis are ushered into the most efficient factories the cell has, the mitochondria.
The cellular powerhouses.
The powerhouses. Once inside the mitochondria, the pyruvate is quickly converted into a key 2-carbon compound called acetyl-CoA. This molecule is the true entry point into the body's super-efficient long-term energy generation system.
And that system immediately feeds into the cycle we all vaguely remember from high school biology?
Exactly. Acetyl-CoA immediately enters the citric acid cycle, also known as the Krebs cycle. And this cycle's primary elegant job is not to generate huge amounts of ATP directly, but to systematically strip all the remaining energy in the form of high-energy electrons from that acetyl-CoA molecule.
And those electrons go where?
Those electrons are then captured by our courier trucks, the NADH molecules, and passed down the electron transport chain.